Israel, a relatively young nation, has been through its fair share of turmoil. It's been a hotbed of conflict, causing the loss of thousands of lives and the displacement of millions, not to mention the rise of terrorist organizations seeking to reclaim what they see as their holy land. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of why Israel's geography is a major player in this drama. This nation rests by the Mediterranean Sea, sandwiched between Lebanon and Syria to the north, Jordan to the east, and Egypt to the southwest. You might see the problem right away. Israel, primarily a Jewish state, is surrounded by Arab-majority nations. This difference in culture and faith, along with extremist groups aiming to unite the Middle East under a strict form of Islam, has fueled a long-standing conflict. But here's the thing: most Muslims desire peace and diversity. Those extremist organizations wanting to dismantle Israel don't represent the whole Muslim population. Nevertheless, many Arab people, especially Palestinians, hold a grudge against Israel for displacing them from their homeland. And as we'll see, they might have a point. The story of conflict in this region dates back to the 1940s when Israel was established. However, before we explore the intricacies, let's get to know the lay of the land. Israel is pretty small. From north to south, it's about 290 miles, roughly the size of New Jersey. But here's the kicker: it lacks fertile land and abundant natural resources. Only 20% of the land can grow crops, and it's Israeli farmers' innovative techniques that keep them afloat. Their cutting-edge agricultural technology, complete with water treatment facilities, sensors and software, lets them grow crops in some of the driest and hottest climates. Israel can be divided into 4 major regions. The coastal plain, hugging the Mediterranean, is the most fertile part, perfect for citrus and wine, and home to Tel Aviv, the largest city. Yet, at its southern end lies the Gaza Strip, a volatile zone controlled by Hamas, a constant source of trouble. The conflict in this fertile region traces back to Israel's inception, which doesn't make things any easier. Next up are the Central Hills, another fertile area. But the tricky terrain makes travel a challenge. Conflict still brews here, as much of the territory is in Palestine. It's a geographical puzzle central to Israel's ongoing struggle for control. The rest of the country is split between 2 harsh geographical regions. The Jordan Rift Valley lies east of the Central Hills, boasting vital water sources but intense competition. The Dead Sea, salty beyond belief, supports nothing but extremophiles. South of that, the Rift Valley turns dry and barren, a real challenge for survival. And that's not all. The Negev Desert covers over half of Israel's land, but only 8% of the population lives there, primarily due to scarce water sources and inhospitable terrain. State-of-the-art irrigation technology and ancient practices help them eke out an existence. But there's more to this story. Many Middle Eastern countries strike it rich with oil. Israel, not so much. Access to the Mediterranean is vital for imports, but it's agriculture and agricultural tech that bring in the big bucks. Citrus fruits, in particular, flourish in the coastal plains. The world depends on Israel's cutting-edge tech for sustainable crop growth, thanks to their need to overcome the challenges of a tough climate and geography. As for oil, Israel is near the bottom of the production list, just ahead of Morocco. In a world moving away from fossil fuels, oil remains a lucrative resource, and Israel's lack of it adds to its woes. Its neighbors, swimming in oil wealth, exert international pressure, pushing Israel to make concessions. Now, back to the geographical clash of faiths. Israel, a Jewish state in a predominantly Muslim region, has been a recipe for perpetual conflict. The roots of this discord trace back through millennia. Jerusalem, settled around 3500 BCE, is a holy city for 3 major Western religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's no wonder everyone wanted a piece of this real estate, leading to countless battles, including the famous Crusades. Around 586 BCE, the Babylonians kicked out the Jews from their Holy Land, and the region changed hands throughout history. It's a sacred place for all 3 religions. And that, my friends, was the spark that set the region ablaze. Fast forward to the 19th century, and Zionism emerged, advocating for a Jewish state in their ancestral homeland. When the Ottoman Empire fell after World War I, Britain took charge of the region, including Jerusalem, then primarily Muslim-populated. Jewish migration surged, tensions flared, and violence became the norm. In 1947, the United Nations proposed the partition of land into two independent states, with Jerusalem as an international territory due to its religious significance. The Jews agreed, the Arabs disagreed, and on May 14, 1948, Israel declared itself a nation. Celebrations turned into war. The Arab-Israel War, and Israel expanded into what the United Nations had earmarked as Palestine. It's a complicated history of land grabs, displacing millions of Arab families. The story continues with wars, peace talks, and a web of settlements that further divide the region. The Oslo Accords of 1993 aimed at peace, allowing Palestine to govern parts of the West Bank. But the situation wasn't that simple. It led to the assassination of an Israeli prime minister. The conflict persisted. The shared history and beliefs of Jewish and Muslim communities make the violence even more perplexing. They worship the same God and revere the same prophets, yet they can't find common ground. Between 2000 and 2005, the Second Intifada erupted, resulting in more casualties. Walls were built, divisions deepened, and peace remains elusive. The geographical boundaries, resources, and religious significance of the area have painted a complex picture that defies easy solutions. So, to sum it up, the geography of Israel, with its deeply rooted historical and religious significance, plays a central role in the ongoing conflicts that have plagued the region for decades. The complex interplay of shared heritage, differing beliefs, and limited resources has created a perfect storm of tensions and strife. Despite the common religious threads that tie the Jewish and Muslim communities together, the focus on differences and territorial disputes prevails. The continuous cycle of violence and political maneuvering further entangles this complex web of conflict, leaving peace a distant dream. The history of the region, marked by conquests, power shifts, and shared sacred sites, sets the stage for a never-ending struggle. Even with the efforts of international peace talks and agreements, the geographical constraints remain an ever-present barrier. While the geography of Israel may seem like an insurmountable obstacle, there is always hope that one day both sides can acknowledge their shared history and heritage. By finding common ground, they might begin the journey towards lasting peace, breaking free from the shackles of geography that have held them captive for far too long.